Hello, I'm Elaine Stevens, and I want to welcome you to Art Beat. Well, we hope you are very relaxed by now because we are in the most incredible setting that you can imagine. It's no wonder that artists are totally inspired by nature because we are in the most beautiful natural setting that I have seen here in South Mississippi in a very long time. Today you're going to meet an incredible goddess of the woods. Her name is Donna Richards as we take you on another journey with Art Beat, the true heartbeat of South Mississippi. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Art Beat. It's a pleasure to be here on the river with Donna Richards. We are in the most magnificent setting, Donna. What an outdoor studio you have here. It is phenomenal.
It is. We love it.
Yes.
It's a great place to raise kids and to just be inspired by many things.
Well, Donna is an artist, of course, and an artist that paints on wood predominantly. But the reason we're out here is that you have a phenomenal story about this wood.
Yes.
Yes, do tell us.
Right after the hurricane, my brother-in-law told us about some wood that was pulled up from some boats that were pushed up in the marsh. And we went in the boat and pulled some of it out and brought it here and cleaned it and let it air dry. And I decided I would try my hand at painting. I haven't painted in a while. So.
Well, when she says that, it's because she's got two twin girls running around, a teenage son, and a dog and a husband, and a lot of things going on in your life. So painting is probably something that you had to put aside for a little while.
I did, and I tell you, it's come back in so many folds. I just so inspired. I can't paint enough. There's not enough time in the day. I just, you know, I'll paint up until midnight a lot of times. I'm just so inspired.
Look at this woman. I mean, she's so beautiful, and she is radiant with her passion for her art, and it shows in her home, but it certainly shows out here in what I call your outdoor studio. Yeah. And her subject matter obviously is indigenous to our South Mississippi area, yeah, and some of the nature that exists in your world. So how do you come up with some of these ideas?
Well, a lot of times I'm looking at a piece of wood and I'll think, oh, that looks like an alligator, or, you know, oh, I'd love to do a sturgeon, you know, because they're, you know, almost extinct, or just do stuff that we see around here, you know, the catfish or osprey or pelicans, or, you know.
You see all of those things here?
Yeah, well, the pelicans we don't, but further down we do, yeah, on the river.
Yeah.
But we see the osprey up here and have several nests up here, and I take lots of pictures of them. And I've come back and I've blown a picture up on my computer and painted a silhouette. I call it shadow art on my wall. So I have something from the river, you know, that we love to see every time we go out there. We go visit the same nest. You know, an osprey, they come back to the same nest every year.
Just like people do to their own homes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you can see this very closely, but there's an alligator behind us, and there's a snake. Yeah. Now, are those little creatures that live around here,
Oh,
Donna?
yes,
okay.
They do. We do have a junior alligator that comes up every once in a while.
Do we have a name for him?
Junior. Junior. He's probably an adult now, but...
Well, does he know that he's a star?
No, not
He
yet.
has his own portrait here, right?
Right.
So some of the other work that I've seen is on the older wood, and
Yes.
we're going to get some shots of that as we go around the studio. But the alligator in particular that's over the entranceway as I was walking up earlier, tell me about him. That's so colorful and vivid.
Yeah, that was one of my first pieces that I did. In fact, that day I did 3 pieces, and once I, you know, saw how he came out, he actually turned out for me. I was really excited, and you know, that he really turned out was really encouraging. So I moved on to another piece, you know.
And so you started all back in one day.
Yes,
This is just
I
a
did.
surge of inspiration.
Right.
Wow. Obviously the dog is inspired too. That's good. So tell me this now, when you come out here, do you feel different motivations to get started on different things as you enter this world out here?
Well, I do, and then I'll go back in and I'll go look at the wood and, you know, and just pick out whatever piece, whatever size, and whatever day, you know, whatever I feel like painting that day, I'll, you know, grab a piece, look for a special piece to put that one on.
Now tell me how long it had been since you were painting before.
Oh goodness, probably 17 years.
Oh my goodness,
yes.
I didn't realize it was that
Yeah.
long. Oh my.
I've done things here and there, little stuff, but nothing to this magnitude.
Well, you certainly didn't lose any of your finesse and your artistry and your creativity. So where did you study?
Just high school, you know, art teachers, and I did take a course with Bill Nelson. For a summer, and then otherwise just self-taught.
Self-taught.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Do you have a favorite medium that you like to work in?
Acrylics.
The acrylics. So
yeah.
do you find that that is an easier medium to work with on the kind of wood that you have?
I do. It spreads easy. It dries fast. I do like working with it.
Well, we're going to take a little break right now. We're going to take a tour with Donna and look at some of this magnificent wood that she's told us about. So stay tuned. We'll be right back to Art Beat right after this. You are watching Art Beat with Elaine Stevens and my guest Donna Richards, and it's really an amazing story how my producer found Donna. The first day that she was getting the Sun Herald delivered to her house, she looked down and she saw this beautiful lady on the cover of the Sun Herald, on the front page actually,
yes.
And she said, that's going to be one of Elaine's pieces. I'm going to make sure and schedule that, and here we are out on the river with you, Donna Richards, my little forest goddess. That's what I call you. And as we were walking by here, you said, this is my pelican, Elaine,
yes.
my pelican.
Yeah.
So he has a special significance for you, doesn't he?
I love this pelican. It's one of a few that I've done. I've done a few for my relatives, and this one I actually did for myself, and just treasure it, you know.
Well, I love the way you have hung your pieces out here, because normally you don't see that when someone builds a deck, but you have actually decorated this entire area with river life.
Yes.
So now, you've also decorated some people's lives with your art by benefiting your church, as I understand it.
Yes.
Tell us how that came about.
I just wanted some way to help out my church, and I decided I would do a silent auction, and I did that on May 9th, and it was my first coming out, and it was really a positive, really neat experience.
That had to be so thrilling for you.
Yes.
You're waking up one morning, finding Katrina wood, having a new deck, and then having your own show after 17 years.
Oh, no, it's amazing.
All these surprises. So how was your work accepted there?
Oh, I had a lot of positive feedback, and a lot of people came and they enjoyed the work, and I had a few pieces that were sold, and of course I got to bring this one back because I was going to part with it, but I was glad to bring them back home.
You know, you're like one of many artists that we've interviewed on the show that become very attached to their work.
You do.
So are there certain pieces like that aside from the pelican that you feel strongly about?
Yes, my alligator over there, and my sturgeon.
And your sturgeon, yeah. Well, it'd be hard to move them, Donna. I think you'd have to take the trees when they go too. But I have to say that this has been such a fascinating experience out here on the river with you. I mean, it's just amazing. Do you welcome visitors to come and see your work out here?
I would love, and anytime we have visitors, we do bring them out here because we love it, and we want to share with them what we have, a little piece of tranquility that we have.
Well, it's a lot of tranquility. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. And you know, the drive out here is a little bit lengthy, so you have to be ready for some great directions from Donna and her family. But there's a whole crew of people and ducks and roosters to welcome you. So now the pelican, I think we should name him.
What do you want to name him?
I want to name him Phil. Phil
All right.
is our cameraman.
Okay, we'll name him
And you know,
Phil.
there's something about the pelican that kind of looks like Phil to me. He's colorful and he's very confident.
Yes.
Yeah, and on that note, we're going to take a break and come back right after this. Welcome back to Art Beat. In case you've just tuned in, my guest today is Donna Richards. I call her the goddess of the forest because she lives in such a beautiful place. And Donna paints on a lot of different mediums and uses a lot of different textures, but predominantly the wood. And we're looking at a phenomenal sturgeon right back here on the Katrina wood. That's part of your creation from the wood that you found on the Pascagoula River.
It is. It's one of my first earlier pieces, and I thought that I would go with some really bright colors, you know, just something unusual, different and bright to bring out some color out here on the deck. And
well, I notice as we walk through the walkways here, obviously there's all sorts of creations by Donna. To my right is an alligator, over there is another gator, and then there's a bird over there by the swing. So there's just all sorts of wonderful animals, life around us, and obviously you see that every day out here.
I do, and all these that I paint are usually native to this area, you know, so that's where I get my interest, my subject matter.
Obviously. Okay, well, let's take a look. You know, I'm just enchanted with that area over there,
Okay.
so if you don't mind, let's go over
Sure.
there and take a look at that, the swing up there,
Yes.
if we can. Well, so we call this the tree house, is that
Yes,
right?
we do.
Well, obviously the animals that live here are very content, I
Yes.
see. And you have a beautiful turtle in the background, and then a pelican,
Yes.
and then the real life around you.
Yes, we love the river view, and we have neighbors that come by, come through fishing and canoeing.
Well, I guess you don't have to worry about the kids having nothing to do.
Exactly. I thought if we moved here, they would just have the best place in the world, you know, for boating and swimming and fishing.
Absolutely, all
you
the
know.
sports of South Mississippi.
Yes.
Well, tell me now, did you find the wood before you built the deck, or did the wood inspire you to build the deck?
No, we did find the wood before we started the
No
deck.
kidding,
In fact, yeah, my husband built a small portion of the deck, and it just kept growing. And as it grew, I was inspired. I was like, oh, I can, you know, it's art itself, this deck that he's built. So I just
Oh,
thought, well,
absolutely.
I'll add some pieces to it.
It
you
truly
know.
is a work of art. I mean, he's an artist in his own right.
Yes. he
So you're
is.
both working in wood.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
amazing.
so that's neat. Teamwork.
Now, do you ever bring your work out here? Do you actually paint out here?
I have not, and I should, but I have not. I usually do my work inside because I paint till all hours of the night.
I'm very disillusioned. I thought she was out here painting. I had this whole image, you know.
I know, I should though.
Well,
I
it's
should.
beautiful. I have to say that I have seen a lot of beautiful areas in South Mississippi where artists tell me they're inspired, but this has got to really feed your imagination on a
It
daily
does.
basis.
It does.
So now, what has changed in your life since you began painting?
How's it changed? Just people have enjoyed the work,
Oh, I
and I've had people that want, you know, friends. They'll say, "Do me a piece" or whatever, or just. It's so relaxing, and it's just something that you can meditate in, and you know, and just takes you away, and something for you. You know?
Well, the Sun Herald did a beautiful article
Oh, they
on you, so
did.
that really gave you some exposure, didn't it?
It sure did.
Yeah, now if people want to do something with your work as far as purchasing or collecting it, or can they contact you?
They sure may. In fact, I have some pieces at Century Antique Mall in D'Iberville, and they can call me or email me on my email address, which, you know,
Go ahead, you can give it to them.
is brimm@cableone.net.
Very good. Yeah. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back right after this message. Donna, this is a beautiful flower garden that you said you were inspired by something in Fairhope?
I was. I went to Fairhope a couple of weeks ago, and I saw a sample of this kind of work, and I thought, well, what a neat medium to paint on. And actually it's linoleum turned over, so the back side of the linoleum, and just come up with a subject matter, something really bright.
So now, is this acrylic?
It is acrylic, and I covered it with varnish.
So it will stay. So
it will.
You can actually use it in areas that may have water.
Yes.
And it's out here on the deck, I noticed.
Yes, and you can walk on it. It's fine. You know, you can put it in your house and use it for like a rug,
Years
area
ago
rug.
at Bloomingdale's, and I had seen something similar to this, but this is a lasting form of art. It's a functional form of art. You can use it as a mat on your floor, but you can also hang it.
You sure may, yes.
Yeah.
You could frame it and have it on your wall.
And
yes.
we'll take a look at some of your other pieces that are similar to this.
Okay.
And then we're going to take a little journey inside the house, which
All
I
right.
understand has some very interesting objects.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back right after this. You're watching Art Beat with Donna Richards and your host Elaine Stevens, of course, and I am looking at an actual dead tree on a wall. So you brought the river inside the house as well. Tell us about that.
I have. This is a tree that we visit every time we go up the river. As you can see, it's an osprey in a tree, and the nest, it's a bird's nest, and I have a fascination with dead trees. I don't know why, but their structures, the way they look, are really unique. Everyone is different.
They're sort of mysterious, aren't they?
are.
I know. I see that on the river banks here in South Mississippi. Now, how did you do this? How did you accomplish this look?
I took the photo and I blew it up, and I decided I wanted a shadow. I really didn't want to bring in, many colors or anything. I just wanted something that looked like a shadow cast on the wall.
It's beautiful. And at first, when I first walked in, I thought it was a shadow. Yeah, well, you certainly accomplished that. It's magnificent. And then behind us, Donna has done some wood carvings, again with the silhouette pattern, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how you came to do that.
I just am inspired to do anything and everything, and I thought, well, why not cut some oak trees out, and so I decided I'd do that, and I would stain them, and I thought they would be a little added feature in the house,
So what kind of tools do you use to do this?
I use a scroll saw, and I trace out my pattern. I draw it out on the wood and take that and drill also to drill a hole so you can make these cuts that are in the center, and then I varnish them as well.
I don't even know what a scroll saw is. Did you know what it was when you first started using it?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I used to work in a hardware department.
Oh, so you're a woman of many talents, and we're going to go outside and look at another medium that you've done. Okay, let's take a look out on the front porch. And I see you love lighthouses as well.
I do.
That is beautiful. Is that a real one that you saw somewhere? Or?
It is. It's the one, well, it's not one I actually saw, but the one that was on Round Island.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Wow, it's beautiful. How long does it take you to carve something like that?
It doesn't take long to carve, but then I have to go back and sand it, and take the rough edges off, stain it, and varnish it.
So, as an artist, do you know how many hours it takes for one piece like that?
Probably a few hours.
A few hours, yeah. Yeah, well, for someone who stayed away from art for 17 years, this woman is phenomenal because she does little tile work like this, and all the colors that you see on the wood art outside on her deck, you see here expressed, and the same type of animals. And the animal life and the insect life as well. But my favorite one happens to be the ladybug, which was an experiment, you said.
It was. I just, I want to paint on anything and everything. I just want to do anything and all things. And I thought, well, I'll see how well the paint, works on the rock. And it really flows so neat on the rock, and it absorbs it, and it has a great texture. And I varnish those also to give them a nice shine.
Well, Angela Marie, you're in Stillwater, Oklahoma, but I'm going to be sending this to you from Donna Richards because you collect ladybugs. Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome.
Let's take a look over here at what you call your eel. Do we have a name for him?
Just an eel, and this
Just
is
an eel.
a piece of driftwood that we picked up on the river, and I decided I would paint them and make it look like an eel, and I added a glass ball for an eye. And
Can you see that? I don't know if y'all can see that, but I'm going to hold it up. It really does look like an eel. Now, did you have a live model for this too?
I did not, but I have seen them.
Oh, haven't we all?
Yeah.
There's a lot of detail on here. You probably can't see it over the television cameras, but I tell you what, Donna Richards really loves the animal life of South Mississippi. And for someone who hasn't been in the art world for 17 years, it's pretty amazing. We're going to take a look at one of her new creations out in her yard right after this message, so stay with us. Well, it's so fascinating out here. I mean, there's so many different kinds of life not just people,
Yeah.
obviously, and then the river life, but you have almost like an animal farm here
Yes.
with the baby ducks. So the rooster, you said, came up to you after Katrina?
He did. He was just an orphan, and we adopted him, and he's hung out with us ever since.
What an inspiration. And obviously we've got young people standing there watching and enjoying nature and watching you and becoming inspired by the work that you're doing after 17 years. But what really takes my breath away is this. How did you know you could do this, and what did you do with this? You call this your flower, I know.
I do. And when I went to Fairhope, I saw something similar to this, but it was done in steel or some other type of metal. Well, this is very thin metal. It's easy to bend.
Very malleable.
Yeah, so I thought, well, I'll try it with this, and I'm still working on it. You know, it's not quite how I want it, but it was really a beautiful piece of work at a museum.
But now, how did you cut the petals?
I cut them, I traced them with a marker, but then I took pliers and bent the edges because it's very sharp. And it's already rolled up, so it already had this bend to it.
We did have the bend,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I just bought one of the glass balls.
Right. And did you create the bottom part
We
as
did.
well?
We just wrapped the post. We had a post underneath there, a wooden post.
Well, this is Donna's flower. So here's a woman that after 17 years didn't know that she could do all of this.
Right.
With minimal classes in high school and a couple of lessons from an art teacher, has created an entire world around her. It's a very private setting. It's a very warm setting with your family. Well, I commend you. I would love for you to tell everyone again where to get your work, also about your email address, since you don't have a website yet.
Yes.
But let's do talk about your email address.
Okay, it's brimm@cableone.net, and also I have a few pieces in Century Antique Mall in D'Iberville.
In D'Iberville, that's near the I-110. So, Donna, what is your next endeavor? I mean, you said earlier, I mean, which just amazes me, you want to carve, you want to paint, you want to work with metal, and you've accomplished all that. So what's next for you?
I don't know. Whatever, whatever I have at my hand, whatever I'm able to get a hold of, or I have no idea. I'm just gonna go with the flow, as you would say, and just.
But I never really asked you this question, but what was your husband's reaction when he found out that all of a sudden there was another world inside of you coming out?
Well, he knew that I loved to draw, and knew that I hadn't drawn in a long time, and he just absolutely loves the pieces.
He does?
He does.
He's encouraging you?
He is.
So when you become a very famous artist, and you think, I think that's going to happen. I really do. I trust in that because she's extremely talented. We want you to enjoy Artbeat every week, so we want you to let us know what you would like to watch by going to www.wkfk.com and emailing us your suggestions. And if you have any ideas about any local artists in South Mississippi you want us to visit and talk to, just let us know. We hope you have enjoyed this segment of Artbeat. I'm your host, Elaine Stevens, and I will see you again next week.